Memento Mori Stories, a podcast that reminds us that we will die and that celebrates the deeply personal and sometimes whimsical ways we create to remember death and cherish life. How we bridge the gap, the sometimes deep, painful, and soul-searching gap between life and death. How we remember those we have loved, the things we keep, the phrases we use, the foods we prepare, the places we hold dear. This is your invitation to listen generously to one such story. A Memento Mori story.
I would love to share the story of the three objects that I love and the meaning they have for me. First of all, there's a gold and silver bowl. I happen to see it in a brochure someplace, and I just had to have it. And the reason I had to have it, it reminded me of a song from Girl Scout camp, which was, make new friends but keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. So one of the memories I have about friends who have passed and who are still with me is how much I love them and treasure them. Sometimes I might meet someone for just, a short conversation and never again. And then there are friends who go all the way back to kindergarten. So I'd say that friendships and family as friendships, and those who have passed and those who remain are part of that. So it's the memory of past and present with love and friendship. The second object I selected, meaningful to me, is a painting that my Aunt Rose painted. It was her first oil painting, her first painting. But when I saw or heard about this painting that she had given to her neighbor because the neighbor's friend had passed, so Rose gave her this painting. And one day she looked at the painting and it was askew. She thought, that's funny. So it was like a message to her that there was something happening with her house, her wall, and her structure. So she saw it also as a message from Rose. And she was able to make me a copy of this painting that appears as if it's the original. So Rose was one of my mother's four sisters. She had a tragic life. She was so bright and handled the struggles in her life so well. Before she spoke, she would always take a deep breath and then speak or respond. She lost her son and two grandsons in a plane crash that her son was flying. He had another child who was a year and a half that the second wife never permitted her to see again. And when she couldn't be alone anymore, she gave me the power of attorney, sell her property, and come back so she could be in assisted living. And at the end, she was living with me in my house. So she's just a dear loved one. And every time I see that painting, I think of her. It's another love connection. The third object that I selected was some wallpaper. I recently moved back into my childhood home. The house is entirely painted, but the house had always had wallpaper in the dining room. So I was looking for a wallpaper, and as soon as I saw this particular wallpaper, I said, that's it. And it's a picture of pussy willows, but they're filled with, they have green, a red, a pink red, and gold, which are the colors I love. So since I do Feng Shui, it was also a reminder of having life force energy in the house, and the energy was joyful, whimsical, lovely, fun, which is about the life that I'm living, want to continue to live as I live in this house and go beyond. And since it's a little different, people respond to it, and everyone seems to like it. So that's what I remember and love about my friends, my relatives in the past, and a little touch of how I'm presenting myself at this time in my life. And I'm 75 now, with more years to come.
Thanks for listening. Compassion and listening are so valuable in bringing healing to our lives after loss. So, how about you? Do you have a story about something that reminds you of a special someone, a beloved pet, an event, or a place that brings comfort? Please contact Memento Mori Stories through this podcast or our Facebook or Instagram pages. I would love to hear from you.